to order. Approval minutes? Or?
The addition of the election of officers.
Okay, so today we're going to have the addition of the election of officers. This is something that is designed to take place just after the city council elections, right?
Correct.
And so it comes at our next meeting after the city council elections.
So you would just need to add it to the agenda.
Okay. Do I need a motion? Okay, so I'll need a motion to add that to the agenda.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. So do I?
Now you can go to the minutes and then we'll do the election of
Thank you.
officers.
I'm getting training, so thank you. Okay, so copies of the minutes everyone's received for your review. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes from November 12th, 2015? Seeing none, is there a motion for approval of the minutes?
Motion to approve.
Is there a
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Now election of officers.
Okay. So now we'll have our election of officers. And you're going to have to help me here.
Okay, we'll take a motion for chairman or nominations.
I nominate Anna, our current chairman.
Any other nominations? Okay, nominations are closed. Mrs. Brady, do you accept the
Yes, I do.
position? Okay,
Yes.
now we'll move on to vice chairman.
Is there a nomination? Am I allowed to nominate?
Of
too?
course.
Okay, so I'll nominate Deborah Atwell to remain as vice chair.
I second.
And she's not here to accept, but
We can go ahead and do it. If for some reason that she chooses not to take the position, then we can vote on it again at our next meeting.
okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now we're ready to move on, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So moving on to public comment, I'd like to open up the meeting to anyone from the public who would like to come up to the podium and address the board. Sure. And please state your name and address for the record, too.
Not the address, just the name.
Just your name.
Good morning. I'm Carolyn Bayless. I'm the new president of the Indian River County Historical Society. This is the first time I've been here, so I wasn't quite sure what to do. I'd like to invite everyone to come to our Santa Lucia Christmas celebration this Sunday at the Hallstrom House. We're having a traditional, we'll have a Swedish girl all dressed in the traditional white with the crown around 5 o'clock, and we're going to have some singing. And our house is decorated with the traditional Swedish ornaments, and we even have a little cheat sheet for you to do a little personal tour and read about what each one of the ornaments are. And we'll have Swedish refreshments, and we've been very fortunate. We have a new grant from the Garden Club, and so we have beautiful new landscaping around for people to see. So it's from 3 to 6, and around 5 o'clock will be when we will have our little celebration with the Santa Lucia, but people are welcome to drop by any time. And if you don't know where we are, we're at 1723 Old Dixie Highway Southwest. We're 1.2 miles south of Oslo Road on Old Dixie, and we would love to see you all. It is free, but we would ask for a donation of canned goods to support our local food banks. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming, sharing that with us. And it's a beautiful drive down Old Dixie, especially from either area, from Fort Pierce or Vero. And if you haven't been to the house, it is just lovely, and I'm really excited to see it at Christmas time. So thank you. Okay, I'm moving on to, is there any further comments from the public? Okay, seeing none. Moving on to old business. We were hoping to have the prototype of the local historic designation plaque today, but the sculptor is still busily working on it. We get an update that Tammy sent me, and he is taking his time, which is great. But it is, because of all the relief in there, it is taking a little longer than anticipated. So I would think that we would have something for us to review at our next meeting. Okay. I do, moving on to other matters, because I didn't put these under old business, I just wanted to provide an update for the benefit of the commission on where we are with the Excel spreadsheet of those properties that we talked about that were on the Florida Master Site file that we're going to send letters out to. GIS was able, thank you, George, for working on that spreadsheet. GIS was able to pull in some of the owners' names with the property appraiser's information, but they said there were about 100 that he couldn't locate, he couldn't match up. And so I need to take time or send it to you for you to take time to look at and review. I don't want to say unfortunately, because fortunately I ended up having to spend my time this month. As you know, the Florida Heritage Marker 2, I had to devote some time to that process and working on a Florida Master Site file form for that. And I'm looking at Ruth in the in the audience because she did submit that application, so that's another update. So I don't know if you'd like me to just send that to you or send it to Tammy for her to send to the board. Would you like to take that on and review?
Yeah, I can take that on.
Okay.
Just a question. I'm still new to this. I have not gotten with Tammy or anyone in the city clerk's office with regard to proper procedures and sunshine and all this business. When I completed the Excel revisions, there were 660 entries in that database, and I found that I was able to do it rather quickly. I found some methods to be able to convert the database out of one field into the 3 or 4 separate fields that needed to be done, and able to do a mail merge. Realizing that we had talked at our previous meeting that I was going to split with you, and I would do half and you would do half, when I mailed or emailed the completed revisions out, I sent a copy to you for no other reason than I didn't want to see you take your valuable time and do something that I had already done. I don't know how the Sunshine Law works, but it seems to me that sometimes our hands are a little bit tied. I understand the spirit of the Sunshine. I think in some cases, probably the procedures that we go through are, quite frankly, somewhat cumbersome. And I'm not sure that it was the spirit of that law that we couldn't send email to one another. I understand that we can't get together and discuss. But in a case like that where I was attempting to save somebody some time, I felt it prudent to send both to Tammy's office and to Miss Brady's office. And I would just like to comment that it seemed in this case to be a little bit outside of what I'm used to doing in normal business. Again, I can understand the collusion aspect of Sunshine, but in this particular case here, I thought that I would go ahead and send it. And if I did so incorrectly, I stand to be corrected. But I just think that we've taken a law and we have tied our hands so severely with it that it really inhibits us trying to do business. Not us, but everyone in government doing business. And just a comment. Be happy to proceed forward with anything that needs to be done with that database. Having said that, I'll turn the floor back over to you.
Can I respond to that?
Yes.
Anna? Mr. Childers, I realize that the Sunshine Law, it does make it difficult at times. But in the future, if you would just send it to me, and then I will send any documents on to Mrs. Brady. There could have been a problem with that had Mrs. Brady responded to you on that. Then there would be correspondence going between two members, not at a public meeting. So we wouldn't want that. But luckily, Anna knew not to respond back to you. So
I do understand that, but this was sent on a Saturday, and your office is not open on a Saturday. So Miss Brady could have well gotten into her half of the database, and there would have been 2 days or whatever it would have taken Miss Brady to complete that. 2 days wasted.
Yeah, no, I find that very cumbersome too, that we can't work together on certain projects. It's very hard, but
It's
it's the
difficult.
reality, and I'm trying to follow what's being instructed by staff in the city to follow that guideline. So in this case, that's why it may be easier or more efficient for you to take that project on yourself, in a sense, if you'd like to do that and work with staff. Would you rather? And that avoids us going back and forth
Well, I think it
until
would
you
be
hit a
easier.
roadblock.
It would save you
Yeah.
some time for sure, because you could have turned around and duplicated what I had already accomplished.
Exactly.
And we're here to serve the city and serve the historic commission and not waste our time.
Exactly. So then you can talk directly to Gail and or Tim for that, and they would provide that assistance. And if someone's stuck at that point, we can have a clarification. Okay. Is there any other comment in regards to that matter? All right. I know we have our reception coming up, but I just wanted to share one more item with everyone that I think will be fun. If you can bear with me a couple minutes. Just going to go to the computer. So I think all of you remember that I brought up a campaign that's being carried out by the National Trust for Historic Preservation called This Place Matters. And I received an email a couple days ago. It has a video in it that I wanted to share with you. So I'll get that started. First of all, this is the website that they have now called savingplaces.org. And even though the National Trust, covers the nation, there's ways that we can participate locally to raise awareness about our historic resources. This is their campaign, but they're encouraging people to post photos of places that matter to them with locations or a story, basically, of why you think that place is important. But I'll go ahead and play the video that they sent to me recently. And is the sound on?
It is.
Thank you.
For more than 65 years, we've traveled the country looking for stories. From coast to coast, New England to New Mexico, and the big cities and small towns in between. Wherever we go, people tell us the same thing.
This place matters.
This place matters.
Este lugar me importa.
This is where Dr. King told us he had a dream.
This is where we come to see a wonder of the world.
This is the place where a curse was broken.
This is a place where a curse was not broken.
This is a place that brings our people together.
This is the place that inspires my art.
This is a place where everybody's welcome.
The Lincoln Memorial,
The Old North Church,
The Astrodome,
My mom's restaurant.
the Golden Gate Bridge,
the Nantucket Lightship,
Galería de la Raza,
Fenway Park,
Wrigley Field,
San Esteban Del Rey Mission, Navarro's Martial Arts Studio,
The African Knitting House.
Green Apple Book. The New York State Pavilion matters to me.
The Vagabond matters to me.
Miami Marine Stadium me importa.
My family's home matters to me.
So as you can see, this is a feel-good video. I think this is great. It really, finally, they're bringing the human aspect, I think, to historic preservation. A lot of times we get caught up in trying to save a building or preserve a building. And why are we doing it? Because it matters to us. Certain buildings, certain experience we've had have mattered, and there's stories behind these buildings that create that connection. And anyone here can go on to their website and get one of these signs and do your own local picture. And they'll send one to you. Just sign up for that information. But it got me thinking about, too, we've been talking about raising awareness for our local historic buildings, and this may be something that we want to consider. So I do have a little bit of a homework assignment for everyone. If you would just pick one place and have a little 2 to 3 sentence, maybe 5 sentence story as to why that place matters to you. It needs to be within the city limits, but a historic building or landscape and I would say just submit it to Tammy before the next meeting. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to propose yet, but we can all think of some various ideas. And just so you know, I will do the same. That will be my homework assignment as well. And just so you know, this month I'm going to be working on submitting the final report. There's an annual report that's due from our board to talk about what our commission has completed throughout the year. So I'll be working on that this month. Like I said, Ruth Stanbridge has already submitted the Heritage Marker application for City Hall. So that will be in progress. I feel like there's something else I'm working on, and I know there is, and I don't have it on my list today. But look, I may not be able to make the board meeting next month, just so you know, but I will give you a heads up ahead of time. Okay. Let me come back to the... So if there's nothing further, we have a really nice little reception afterwards. If you'd like to join us, there's some refreshments. Come meet the commission members. Staff, too, are invited to come down and grab a snack. So if there's nothing further, we'll adjourn. Okay. Thank you.